We are standing at the site of the barricade, and behind me you see a series of white posts, and those white posts mark the approximate location of what we call today the Red Stick Barricade. Now this barricade seals off the narrow neck of this peninsula, running through the woods to either side of us into the Tallapoosa River on either side of us, about 400 yards long. Now, this barricade was built around December of 1813, and it was designed to protect a village that's built in the center of the bend, the village of Tehoka. Now, just across the river from us is the village, or was the village, of Nuyaka. This part of the Tallapoosa River was a very heavily populated stretch of the river. We have towns on the lower Tallapoosa, and we have the upper Tallapoosa towns, the most prominent town being the town of Muscogee. But Nuyaka is a town just across the river, and many of the people from Nuyaka and 5 other towns will gather in the bend for protection, building this barricade. On Sunday, March 27th, 2 forces will meet on this field behind me and lock in a very deadly contest on the ground, the field surrounding us. On this side of the barricade we had a force from Tennessee, led by Major General Andrew Jackson. He brings an army of about 3,300 men with him, and now that army contains a variety of elements. Tennessee militiamen, United States Army regulars, a Creek company under William McIntosh from the Chattahoochee River, and about 500 Cherokee warriors from what today would be North Alabama, northern Georgia, and Tennessee, and some perhaps from North Carolina. On the other side of the barricade we have gathered about 1,000 Red Stick warriors, all gathered from about 6 towns in this vicinity. Behind them are 350 women and children from the same towns. In about a 5-hour contest, beginning somewhere around 12 o'clock, this battlefield erupts with activity. Just prior to the attack on this barricade, 2 small cannon that have been placed on the slope of this hill will try to pound the barricade with the idea to knock a hole in it. But there's no effect from those two cannon. The barricade is just simply too strong. The cannonballs will either sink into the logs or just pass straight through it, but will not knock a single log down. Seeing activity behind this barricade, Jackson will launch an attack. And that activity was in fact an attack from the rear led by Cherokee and Creek warriors who will cross the river, attack through the village of Tehoka, and eventually meet in contest with Red Stick warriors who will retire from the barricade to meet them in battle several hundred yards behind us. At 12:30, Jackson will launch his attack, and in probably a very few minutes, maybe 10-15 minutes, the most deadly activity of the entire day takes place right in this spot. The fighting will carry on past the barricade as the day goes until it swirls all through the 100 acres of this bend. As night falls, the fighting comes to an end, and we have one of the most deadly days in American history right here on this ground. Now, it's certainly not the end of this story by any means, but the military action of the Creek War ends on this spot on March 27, 1814. But of course, history will continue on from this day.